I can still picture her face, calm, confident, with that smug, practiced smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Her manicured nails tapped in a steady rhythm against the glossy oak table, almost as if she was already counting the money she believed was hers. She didn't even glance my way when the lawyer began reading the will. She didn't have to. In her mind, she had already won. 5 months earlier, when Dad married Vanessa, I wanted to believe she cared for him. She was young, stunning, and quick to laugh at his jokes. Dad was brilliant, but had grown lonely after Mom passed, and I thought maybe, just maybe, she would help heal that emptiness. She called me kiddo, gave me a watch for my graduation, and made lasagna on Sundays even though she despised cooking. I let my guard down. I shouldn't have. The changes started small. She'd forget to tell me about family dinners. I came home one evening to find the locks had been changed. Dad began parroting her comments, little digs about how I still hadn't figured my life out. Then came the night I overheard her on the phone. She didn't bother lowering her voice. Once he's gone, it's all mine. The kid won't get a cent. That's how we planned it. I stood frozen in the hallway, gripping the wall so hard my fingers ached. She saw me and didn't flinch, just ended the call and smirked. Don't look so surprised, kiddo. This is how the world works. I didn't argue. I didn't shout. I simply smiled. And that was the moment I began planning. Vanessa thought Dad's was already set in stone. What she didn't know was that Dad trusted me far more than he ever trusted her. She also didn't know that for months I'd been helping him quietly restructure his estate as his health declined. When the doctor used the word terminal, Dad called me into his study. You'll be fine. She's not as smart as she thinks, he told me, handing me the contact information of his oldest friend, Robert, his attorney of 30 years. Together, we rewrote the will. Dad wasn't cruel. He didn't cut her out completely, but he made certain she couldn't touch the majority of his assets without my approval. The protection lay hidden in one key clause, buried so deeply in the legal language that she wouldn't notice until it mattered. When Dad passed, Vanessa didn't shed a tear. She wore black to the funeral, but her smile never faltered. By the third day, she was already speaking to a real estate broker about selling his properties. She even cornered me in the kitchen. Don't bother coming to the will reading. You're not in it. I met her gaze. I'll be there. She laughed as if I'd told the funniest joke she'd ever heard. The day of the reading, the room smelled faintly of leather and old paper. Robert sat at the head of the table, glasses perched low on his nose. Vanessa sat beside him in black silk, posing like royalty awaiting her crown. The opening was predictable: donations to charities, small gifts to longtime staff. Then Robert spoke my name. Vanessa's smile twitched. And to my son, I leave full controlling interest in the Winston Holdings Trust, including all associate accounts, assets, and properties, except for... He paused, adjusting his glasses. The residence at 4 Park Lane and a living stipend of $100,000 per year, which I leave to my wife, Vanessa. Her head snapped toward him. That's it, she demanded. Robert gave a faint smile. For the clause in paragraph 14, any sale, lease, or transfer of trust assets requires the sole consent of your stepson. Without his written approval, you cannot liquidate or encumber any property within the trust. Her mouth opened, but no words came. She turned to me, eyes sharp as glass. You planned this. I leaned back, steady and unshaken. No, Vanessa, Dad did. I just made sure it was airtight. She tried to act indifferent, but over the following months, I saw the cracks form. Her credit cards were declined when the joint accounts were revealed to be part of the trust. Realtors stopped returning her calls when they realized she had nothing to sell. I let her remain in the house, allowed her to believe she still had stability. Then she attempted to rent out the guest wing, without my consent. That was when I invoked the clause, selling the property legally without her approval. She received exactly what the will promised, her $100,000 a year, enough to live, but far from the luxury she thought she had secured. The last time I saw her, she stood outside the gates of 4 Park Lane, a suitcase at her feet.